W-A-L-K-I-N-N. I'm enjoying biking and walking. I don't hear you.
Yeah, I had muted us because we were super loud and it cuts out your microphone when we're
Okay.
loud here, so I wanted to hear you. So thanks for reminding me.
Look, he has it too. Yes, Kagan has it. I like your haircut. Look. You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
I gave it a try. I'm enjoying walking, or I'm liking walking too.
He's walking too, Polly. The quarantine. The quarantine. Polly, I like this.
Oh, and he says in Zoom is fun.
I know, we are getting profi in Zoom, right, Kagan?
Right. I like to. I like to meet with friends.
Nice. I want to ask you.
I just can't wait to begin.
And,
I just can't wait to
and then he said, and this is fun.
Nice. He's having fun too. But I need this pencil. No, we are doing a Zoom class, remember? So put your, yes, look, Joshua and Kagan. All right? And this is going to be, our timer broke, so we don't have a timer. But look, we're going to be 45 minutes? Oh.
Yeah, the lesson won't be that long, but yeah, the lesson will be more like 20, 25.
Okay, so 20, Pauli, let me put the timer. I'm going to do 20 minutes for the lesson. All right? All right, so 40. Start, okay, 25. All right. Oh, look, nice. Look, can we read this? Creativity. Yeah, read. Creativity. Yes. Can I write the word here? Please? Oh, you write it. You write it. You write that word here. Go. C-R-E. Nice. Now you can read. Look. Now I hear you. Okay.
All right. So nice job. Yeah. Sometimes when we're working on things, certain skills become available and sometimes they're not available. So anytime that speech is available for you, Paul, go ahead and say the letters as you go for them. So, and the word, you know, so that was awesome. Really great. Okay. So this happened in 1960. Two men made a bet with each other. All right, so what year are we talking about?
What year are we talking about? Let me get my, look, what year are we talking about?
Let's see.
Right.
Oh, 19, go for it. See? 1960, you can write it down if you want.
Yeah, so was that before or after your birth?
Can you listen to that? Okay, is that year before or after your birth?
Or.
Oops, sorry. Show me first letter. E. E. Find it. F. O. Find it. Go for it. Go for it. R and E. Before.
Right. Yeah. So quite a bit before, right? So around 30-ish years before you were born, these two men made a bet. All right, so if you're thinking about the word bet, what word would go with bet? Do you think that home, H-O-M-E, or wager, W-A-G-E-R, would go with bet?
What do you think, Bobby? What word can be with home? What was the other word?
Wager, W-A-G-E-R.
Wager?
You think it's wager?
What do you think? With what word, man?
Oh.
Say it. Home. He said home.
Okay, so you could be at home when you make a bet, for sure. All right, so let's keep going here. All right, so the first man was the founder of a, wait, did I skip one? Oh, okay, sorry. So there was only $50 on the line, but there were millions of people who ended up being impacted by this bet that they made. All right, so one person bet the other person how much money?
Catch us
First.
first.
Can I stand up because it's easier.
$50.
$50, yes, correct. All is writing down.
Okay, so the first man was the founder of a publishing firm. You might have seen this inside books. The publishing firm was called Random House. They publish millions of books. The second man in the bet was named Theo Giselle, but you probably know him as Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss, yes.
All right, so one man, the first man who made the bet, owned what kind of a business?
What kind of a business he owned? Oops, what happened? Oh. B. Oh. He's writing also. Book.
That's good, Paul.
Book. S. T. T. S. T. O. S. T. O. Yeah. Go for it. R. and E. Bookstore.
What a great answer. Yeah, because I was going to ask you what publishing refers to, but you already told me. Books, right? Good. All right. So I want to know from both of you guys, have you heard of Dr. Seuss? And what do you know about him?
Have you heard about Dr. Seuss? Yes, find it. H. You can write it. He wants to write down all the time. Anyway, is that good? He. Yes.
We can talk about that in just a second. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, he is. A. He's a. Let's do without writing. Yeah, just tell me. He's what? C. What? C. H. A. R. A. C. T. E. and R. He's a character, okay?
Nice. Yeah, so Dr. Seuss is known as that kind of wacky character who wrote all these books for children, right?
I think we have once, a long time ago.
Yeah.
One
Cool.
book.
Okay. All right, so he was challenged in this bet. The first guy who owned the publishing company bet him that he could not write an entertaining children's book using only 50 different words. So if you think about words and how many words we use every day, 50 words is not very many. And to write an entire children's book, which is normally about 32 pages or so, would normally require more than 50 words. So this was quite a challenge. So the bet was that he couldn't write what kind of a children's book using only 50 words.
Kind of a children.
How did I describe the children's book?
A ver, put it on. E N T E R T T A I N I, yes, N
Sí.
G, entertain. It's a long word.
Yeah, well done though. All right, so if you think about an entertaining children's book, what do you think would be the opposite of that? What would be the opposite of entertaining?
What is the opposite of entertaining? Yes? Put it on if you want. Pardon? Without the pen, okay? No, you don't have to use it. It's fine. What do you want to say? B O R I N G. Boring.
Exactly, that's what Kagan said too.
Oh,
So-
boring.
So he couldn't write a boring book and win this bet. It had to be entertaining. He could only use 50 different words, and here's what he came up with. I bet you've seen it.
Look.
So
Wow.
Dr. Seuss took the bet and he won, and this was the result of the bet. A little book that was published and it sold more than 200 million copies. It's considered the most popular of Seuss's books, and it's one of the very best-selling children's books in history. So would you say that he won the bet? Did Dr. Seuss win the bet, or did he not win the bet?
What do you think, Bonnie? He won the bet or no? I, yes. T H I N. Go for it. I think. H E W O N. He won. I think he won.
Nice. Yeah, and Kagan agrees with you. Kagan said he won by a long shot. So,
Wow.
yeah. You've probably seen this book. You may have read it. Is this the one that you remember, Veronica?
No, that's not the one. Right, Pauli? It was like
The
blue.
Cat in the Hat, maybe?
Yeah, with a hat.
Yeah, so the Cat in the Hat was a different challenge because Dr. Seuss realized when he wrote this book and it became so popular that he worked really well under constraints. So we're going to talk a little bit about constraints and being creative. All right.
Oh, we're not done. Listen.
If I do it.
I forgot to record my
No,
Oh, I have it recorded.
I do.
I think I hit the record button, so hopefully.
perfect. So we can review again. Okay, fine.
All right, so Dr. Seuss realized he worked really well under constraints when that book became so popular. So actually, the Cat in the Hat, he gave himself some similar constraints. So constraints, let's spell that word.
Constraints. You see? Let's spell that word. Oh, spell the word constraint. Yes, find it. C O. Yes, you were there. N S T R A I. Estoy en conferencia. N. Find it. T S. Constraints. That's a long word.
Yeah.
Word.
So constraints, knowing what you know, that he had to work within these boundaries that were set by the vet,
Mhm.
by their challenge there. Do you think that constraints goes more with the word freedom or with limits?
What do you
So
think?
freedom, F-E-R-E-E-D-O-M, or
Well-
limits, L-I-M-I-T-S?
What do you think? Limits, he says. Nice. You want to spell it? Limits?
Well done. Kagan says limits as well.
And
Over here, Don.
I-
That's right. This bag.
yes. Limits. Yeah.
Yeah. So
This
it's
one.
actually a proven thing that we work more creatively when we have
Yeah.
limits or constraints set on ourselves. So we're going to do a little art project that has some constraints.
Oh, nice.
The first thing that I want you to do
Look, Polly.
is you set this constraint.
Yes.
So you are going to use, you remember how Lene talked about organic lines, curvy lines? She talked about straight ones too, but we're going to use some curvy organic lines and just scribble all over. Try to cover the whole page. Go from all the edges and cover the whole page with curvy lines and let them cross over each other. See how I let them crisscross?
Yes, look.
Okay, so you're gonna take a marker.
Mommy, should I do me myself with him or just?
So you'll want to model it for him, get him going, and then let him go and finish it.
Yes. Okay, do you see, Polly? Put this on and we're gonna concentrate. Que se lo den en conferencia. You're doing a class. Okay, Polly. So we're gonna do curved lines. Yeah. Do you see the? You're gonna start here and going, just going the way you want.
So you're gonna do some curvy lines
Okay.
all over the page and just kind of cover the page.
Yes, I love it.
So cover the whole page.
I don't know.
Curvy lines.
Nice. Organic lines.
Kagan, stop that.
You wanna show Joshua? Show
Well
Joshua what you did. Show it. I helped the beginning, but I think he did great with it. Polly, show it.
Yes, nice, Paul. That is perfect. That's exactly right. Kagan's still working on his, but his is looking good too. Super.
Yeah, I helped him more. This
Well
is,
done.
right now we are doing a lot of the straight lines, but I think it's ready for that.
All right.
Miss
Finish it up.
Frizzle.
Cool.
Okay, Liz.
All right.
Okay, Liz.
I don't know.
So next, take your page that looks like this. Good
Yes.
job. That's perfect. Paul, here's what Kagan's looks like. You want to show Paul?
Soil.
Whoa, I like it. Look, he did this.
Okay.
Soil.
We're just going to practice being creative here. So I want you to take some tape, enough that it goes all the way across the smiley faces
Yes.
to protect them.
Take a cut. Yes, you need this. Yes. And cover the emojis. Yes. It's cover.
Perfect. Yeah. So now take a small piece that's about the size of one face
Yes.
and then make a little handle by turning it inside itself so that you can grab hold of it easily.
Yes.
Does that make sense? And then you're just gonna choose. So Paul, you'll tell your mom if you want the first, the second, or the third little face. And then you'll put your tape on top of it, the one that you want.
Okay. Polly, which one do you want? This?
Which one do you want, K-Man?
This. Which one? He chose the sad face. Okay, then we put
Okay.
it. Mhm.
All right. Smile. Okay. So now then, you're going to trace just the face. You don't need to trace the circle. Just trace the face. So you're going to go dot for the eye, little smiley face or little sad face since you chose a sad one. Then, since I made that little handle on it, I can take it off. And I have just this little face.
Oh, we cool. Look, Polly. Okay, can you do that? Just the point here, one.
What?
Okay, and then
Something
This part for you,
goes
so we can pass, 'cause I took up a lot
wrong.
of time.
Goes wrong.
Just the little smiley face.
Something goes wrong.
Awesome. Yes.
That's
Don't
cool.
give up.
What did I put? What do we put?
All right. So now you're gonna take it and just try it. Paul, try it in all different places to see where you want your little guy to be. So thinking of the shapes that you've made, where would you like to put a face and make it into a little person or a little animal?
Ah, okay.
So just try it all around on the page. Okay, man.
What do you want to put here?
So try this all around. Where would you like to put it?
Back.
You're gonna try it right
Wait.
Try
Whatever
it.
you want. Here? Okay. Now
Yes.
take it out. You can put it in.
Do you like that place, or you want to try a different one?
He put it here,
Oh, I like it.
and then he can take it out again, right?
You can try it in different places if you'd like to.
So we do another happy face.
Yeah, then you can choose another one. I was gonna suggest that we do 3 different faces. They can all be the same, but 3 faces on our
Okay.
sheet.
Let's do one more face. You want which face you want?
Help.
Or you wanna move it?
Little piece? Yes.
Just go far, far. See.
No tan grande, it's too big. You gotta do small. Oh, let's do small.
All right.
Seahorses sailing by.
Oh. Okay, go.
If you have the constraint of just this page, you have the constraint of just 3 different faces, so choosing where you want them, and you have the constraint of limited spaces, right? So you made for yourself your own constraint by drawing the curvy lines. So Kagan chose this one right here.
Nice.
So in this one, I'm going to give you another constraint and say, on this first one, let's give this guy a hat.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to give him?
Better sword, he's
Are you going to draw
robbing
him?
sword. Sword, he's
So what are we gonna draw, Polly? What did you say?
robbing all the decks.
Draw him a
Horses sail and climb the mast.
Okay.
Watch him dance.
Right. Should we do a hat? Should we do a hat? Yes.
Yes, a
Wants
hat.
to be
On top. Now you do a hat here. Look. You do a hat, Polly, like this. Look, puppy. Just like this. Whatever you want. Here, on top of his head. Yes, and here. Yes. Nice.
So Kagan spelled he's going to give his guy a cowboy hat. Oh, I like that. Nice.
So, you like it? Yes. So come a little bit closer. I need, no, Polly. Yeah. Now we're gonna wear this again. All right? Because you're okay. So here we are smelling some peppermint. Hands here. Yeah. So you want to do another happy face? Pick a little paycheck. And put it. Where do you want to put it? In the middle? Okay. Yeah. Look.
So
I
Kagan
like
gave him
it.
a cowboy hat,
I love it.
and he's about to choose another face.
Okay, we're gonna choose another one too. Okay, which one you want? Whatever you want. Is that again? Okay, then do it. Just a little bit. And yes, now take it out. And where do you want to put it, Polly? You want to put it here or you want to put it in that hole? Yes. Nice. Now you do a hat. 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 How do you do a hat? Like this, maybe? Yes. Hat. Look, we did one more.
Ah, fantastic. I was going to suggest that we add arms to one of these guys.
Oh, arms. You want to do the arms? I show you how that look. Polly, if you have the happy face here, look. You do the arms, put it on, it's better. But if you do a, look, you did this face. Now we're going to put the arms here. Look, tack, tack, tack. All right. How do you put the arm? Tack, and here, tack. Now do another one here. Maybe in the hat, here, one arm and two arms. The other guy, two arms, one arm and two arms. There you go. Okay. You want to do some fingers? In here. Good. Finger. There you go. You can show me. Yeah, put it on and show Joshua.
Awesome. That looks
some
cool.
help.
He did some hands. Paul, we're not done. Paul, come, put it on. So what did we did, Pauli, on the happy face? What kind of things we did? A, R, M, N, S. What else you did? Arms and? Yeah, you were there. H, A, N, D, and S. And hands. Nice. Which happy face do you like the most? Look. Which happy face? Oh, timer, sorry. Pauli, see our timer. You gotta show. Pauli, you pick the happy face, which I like.
Star.
Yeah, that's perfect. So the last thing I was going to say about this is just that you can think about adding any parts that you want to these characters. And at some point later, you and your mom might want to think about writing a story.
Yeah.
With your characters, right? Kagan chose all happy guys.
I love it. I love it. Great idea.
But it's a good idea to add a little
Yes.
variety of emotion in there. So I like that you chose different ones. That's fun.
I love it. It's a bit, maybe next time I will do, instead of a marker, because he did a too big, maybe just a pen, right?
Yeah, you can. I just needed you to be able to see it. And I've learned that you can't see a pen from here. But yeah, you can use whatever you want to. Crayon works too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's what Thomas said. Try to do a story once a week. That really helps the kids.
To write a story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once a week at least, she said.
Yeah, I agree. I always try to include creative writing options at the ends of my lessons, and I try to make one of them be a little bit longer, at least like in the water unit, at least.
Yes.
I had several of them, so you could pick, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Nice, Paul. You did a good job, Paul. But now, you know what, Joshua, this is working.
Yeah, good.
So what I'm giving him is also the headphones, the normal, just for shutdown. But while we are doing drawing, I put it on. Then you can do your lines. We're gonna do vertical and horizontal lines, okay? I'll keep this on. He's definitely more, a little bit more motivated on drawing, so which is good. Come a bit closer.
Yeah, that is good. It's a struggle for Kagan to draw because trying to get his body to do what he wants it to do is both exciting and difficult. So,
Yes.
so he gets noisy about it.
No,
But
but also, yeah,
good.
Paul is now, but usually when I did, so for example, when I do in the kitchen somehow, because it's too much going on,
Mhm.
times it works better here, where it's less,
Yeah.
what do you say? Let's dog barking, less, all the.
Right. Oh, yeah. Same here. It's a cat meowing for us, but
Yeah.
yes. Same story.
Joshua, I just sent it to you.
I saw it. Yeah. So it looked really good.
Just because, I'm not good at it, usually I was doing my lesson through your lessons. So I just want to know what I'm missing, what I have to add. But what I don't really understood from the course from Soma is, so basically, what is the flow chart? So the flow chart is everything I'm writing here, or?
So I don't know exactly what she said about the flow chart in that particular course. She is constantly developing what she's doing. So she adds to it. And I've already taken lesson planning stuff from her, but I took this one too, because I know she's added to what she does, and she has. But I was really, really sick. So I couldn't even stay awake for the whole thing. So I don't know what she said in this particular thing, but I know that in the past, when she's talked about flowcharts, it's been just a technique of writing. So the flow chart always looked like, and it's not exactly a flow chart, it's more like a map, but she always called it a flow chart. So she would say, so if you're thinking about talking about trees, you would have your word, and then off from trees, you might say, we're going to talk about deciduous trees.
Yes, that's a flow chart. Yes, it's clear.
Okay. And then from that, she would say, well, we're going to talk about which ones are local to our area.
Yeah.
And for that, we're going to talk about local restaurants and businesses and what happens.
It's basically what you do when we do the lesson.
Yeah.
So this is something for me, and for the student will be the visual, the whatever I'm talking. All right.
And it's okay. Sometimes I write it like that when I'm teaching a lesson for Kagan. Sometimes I'll write it that way because it's nice to break things up. So I'll write what we're talking about as a map like this, and it's helpful. It helps them to see, oh, that's a way to organize information. Okay.
So what I did in that lesson was I just put a question, but I didn't.
It was good.
What I didn't add on that lesson, for example, I'm going to have to ask the student extra, like probably we will, just get a paper and try to do a ball and try to do what happened, with it.
That would go in your sensory column where you had the chart. That would be your sensory activity. So you're working on tolerance goals, and really, for you, what you were doing there was helping Paul to tolerate those headphones by using both hands.
Yes.
So that's a tolerance goal, and you're using that sensory activity to work on that tolerance goal.
Okay.
So it would go on the chart that you had there where you had points of the lesson and sensory and student response.
Yeah, but this is just for me as a guideline, right?
Exactly.
Okay, guideline. Okay.
Yeah.
That's, because I think what she said is important is to balance that I'm not the only talking, so that he also is responding, and so a balance.
Right. Yes.
It's not to write in so usually when you do your lesson, so you first do that page just to see what you're going to ask, or you just go direct to the lesson?
I don't always do that anymore because I recognize that in planning the lesson, those things, after a while, you get used to adding those things in.
Okay.
So I don't always make that chart out first. And sometimes I'll actually write the lesson out and then I'll look at it and think about the chart, just kind of mentally, did I hit everything I wanted to hit?
Yes.
In this lesson?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think it's better because when I finished that lesson, I said, oh, here, now that I have that picture, I'm going to add him to touch, you know, touch the, whatever the.
Yeah, it just gets you thinking that way so that then it just comes naturally to you to do it that way.
Yeah, it's true. Definitely. Yeah. Great. Yeah, so what else? I think I sent you, I don't remember anymore which video I sent it to you.
Mount Everest.
The Mount Everest. Yeah, because I'm doing more these audio things that he doesn't really like it, but I'm just trying to build some tolerance.
Yes, and it's good. Yeah, so when you're doing that, I was going to say, you know, you want to think about what your objective is in using the audio, you know, and it's for you and Paul, it's building that audio tolerance. Yeah. And so I think that's really good. I loved that you kept it super short and that he can know it's not going to last forever. Yes. And I think that that's good for building tolerance. And I think that you can still, it will help him to build tolerance if you'll write down keywords for him as he's listening so that he has the visual to go with it.
I forgot that, yeah. Right.
And I loved that you worked on the headphone tolerance within a lesson and you just had him use his two hands for that sensory activity to give him some more input into his system besides kind of distracting him from those headphones, right? Yeah. And helping him to deal with it. That's the way you do it. So that looked really great. All of that was perfect for, yeah, really great. I just would add in writing down some keywords to give him that visual. And you know, spelling and writing, it's so logical that it helps us to deal with our illogical reactions to things. So yeah. Writing it as he's listening to it will be helpful, I think. So try that. And I wrote here that your whole idea for using both of his hands to learn to tolerate the headphones, you're kind of the master of those two-handed activities, helping him let go of that, you know, the headphone thing. So, and I think doing those things within lessons will help him then to be able to generalize wearing the headphones other times or the earbuds other times. So do you have a white noise going in his earbuds? Is that?
Yes, I download this app, the one you told me.
Yeah, that has been so helpful for Kagan.
Yes.
It helps him just to be able to live life. You know, it's just so hard to always have that sound aversion. And really, I think that the reflex integration activities and such are so valuable for working on those things. And I think, but it just is so, it takes so long, you know, it's such a long process of integrating those reflexes. But I think that those things are very valuable for all the sensory challenges, you know, that our guys have.
Yes.
So I think that is something to remember to do. I have to remind myself and put it on my list of things to do, or it gets pushed by the wayside and I forget to do those reflex integration activities. And I also have to make myself let go of some of that and do however many of those exercises that we can manage today, that's how many we've managed, and just to trust and believe that we're moving forward with it, whether or not I'm able to complete everything in a day, especially with the program that you just did, the Family Hope. That's a very stringent process. It's like, it's so time consuming. And I think it's valuable, but I also think that it's impossible to stick with that kind of a routine every day for a long haul. And I like the idea of breaking it into smaller pieces, even if you do part of it today and part of it tomorrow, you know, and you don't do the entire program all in a day. So I don't know what you think about that, but that's just kind of my way of trying to deal with those kinds of things with my own family.
You know what I did, because I wanted to experience and see how Paul is gonna, you know, kind of progress with it, but we are not doing anymore. So basically, I'm just taking what I find it has been helping him. Like, for example, the smelling
method,
which I think, you know, every time he does a steam or whatever I want to, break his, what do you say, his,
Yeah, kind of interrupt it.
yes, so scramble, like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that repetitive thing, then I go here and it really works. I let
Yeah,
it
it does.
smell.
Because, yeah. The olfactory sense, the sense of smell, has its own location in the brain, and it will always distract you from whatever else you have going on. So it's effective in the moment, but it doesn't necessarily change anything in your brain as far as for the long run. It doesn't rewire your brain, in other words. So it's not necessarily correcting anything, but it is interrupting and changing things in the moment, which is useful. But the reflex integration, you did the, what is it, MNRI, and you did Family Hope. So the reflex integration is such a long process, but I think just doing a section of those exercises every day.
Right, I still doing.
Do you? Good. Yeah.
He lay down and he asked me for that, and I go to raise his,
awesome.
yeah, stretch his body. But I'm not doing anymore like the 2-3 hours all day.
Right. No, I wouldn't do that either. I think that's too much to do. But just doing some here and there.
Yeah.
So Kagan and I do a program called Move, Play, Thrive, and it's rhythmic movements. And we try to fit in those rhythmic movements, and it takes 5 minutes a day. And that's way more doable. I can't possibly do 2 or 3 hours a day, and neither can he, not for a long process.
Well, you know what I'm doing? Look, I knew about RPMs a long time ago. I was still living in Germany, but I didn't get the picture like I know now through the job we are doing together.
Right.
But really, I think it is more effective in shorter time, because you're basically, going through that and saying, Paul, now we're gonna hold this here, and we're gonna listen to this, whatever, to this music, or we're gonna put the headphones and we're gonna do the pizza dough that we did, and it really works.
Yeah, it's definitely the thing to do. I'm just saying that those other things are also valuable as far as rewiring. Just combining things to make things happen faster. If you just do the MNRI, it's going to take years and years and years. But if you do MNRI and you do RPM, it's going to, it's going to combine to make a better
definitely
response.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's good to know, to get a bit more knowledge, through MNRI. I know why he's like this position, why, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, like somebody asking the course, what should I do? My son is already old. He hasn't been taught, so many stuff. And then she said, you know what? But you still treat him like 18 years old. And you just say, look, we're going to do a crash course here and talk about the planets. And every day we're going to do a little bit more. So we cannot, I cannot say, oh, what did I did sunrise? It took me like 3 years doing that thing.
I know.
And I think everything has a time.
Yeah.
I think so. And if I tell, regretting so much, I'm going to be crazy.
You just have to, you can't go there. You can't go backward. You just have to see the value in the things that you've done and just keep moving forward. And if there are pieces of those things that you've done that are still useful, for example, the sunrise mindset, of moving forward toward a goal instead of pushing back against what I don't want, just move toward what I do want. I use that in my life every day.
True.
So they're just little pieces.
And also to take care of yourself, right? So, I was before like crazy, and now I say, just keep calm, that neutral zone and whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I see our RPM lessons, even if we just do a 30-minute lesson, we've accomplished more in that 30 minutes than we ever accomplished in 72 hours of playroom time. So.
No, I definitely agree. And also, because it's amazing how much, and that's what Thomas said, you don't have to prepare a lesson. You just go and open a magazine, you go and show him a picture when he was little, and we did that yesterday. And it's like, you don't need a lesson, you can just talk about.
Exactly. We're never short of lessons. They're everywhere, all around us, all the time. Go sit outside. What do you feel on your skin? Is it warm? Is it cool? Do you feel the sun more or do you feel the wind more? I mean, there's always something. There's never, you're never at a loss for lessons
Yeah.
when you learn that. Yeah.
It's really great. So I'm so happy you have the time, Joshua. So we can.
Yeah, it's fun.
Um,
And I wanted to say too, you asked about the writing during that lesson, and I think you're wise to recognize that things like that can become very, very impulsive, and they can become OCD where he won't allow it to be any other way. So you're wise to change it up.
yes. Okay.
Writing, of course, is good, and involving his body kinesthetically and tactily in the lesson, that's good. But to get obsessed with it where it's a requirement becomes a handicap suddenly. So, you know, you have to always be aware of that and change it up like you did. So that was awesome.
So should I keep doing like this for the typing? That's my only concern, you know, because when he types, he will really need the letterboard and then going to the keyboard.
And that's the way that it generally is with typing, that he will need the letterboard for a while, but you're trying to, like we were talking about, fade it out so that he's typing a word and he types, you know, he uses the letterboard for until the end of the word like you've been doing. And then you try to, you know, continue that process until he only touches the first letter of the word, and then he can type the whole word.
Ah, okay.
You know what I mean? So you're kind of working backwards. So if he's spelling the word swimming, he touches the letterboard, S type, W type, I type, M, all the way to the G. But instead of touching the G, you let him go ahead and touch the N and the G on the keyboard. And then, you know, you would I mean, you might do that for a while. It might not be the next word, but the next step after that would be that he doesn't have to touch the last 2 letters on the letterboard.
Ah, okay.
And then he doesn't have to touch the last 3 letters on the letterboard, and just try to work it backwards like that so that it builds his confidence and he realizes that he can do it.
Yes, great. Okay, yeah, no, and you know what I'm doing now is just because we need also a break, right? But I'm trying to tell here my other people, in my break, you know, you have to do the same concept. Otherwise, you know, he has enough time to go to his OCDs and steaming and all that. But let him, you know, do the lemonade. Let him, you know, fold the laundry. Is everything so that he's always busy. Otherwise, he will, you know, and he's working, really working, because he's saying, okay, I have to do that. I have to do my bed. You know, you have.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Definitely does. And to help him to create for himself a hobby is really helpful too.
Yes.
And yeah, so Kagan's favorite hobby.
That can we do next time?
Yeah, we can work on a hobby next time. Kagan's favorite hobbies are puzzles. He just did this one.
Wow.
So that's 1,000 pieces. But we didn't start. Yeah, we didn't start at 1,000 pieces. But that's what he loves to do right now. He loves to do those puzzles.
He did by himself. Okay. Michael did a puzzle with him. We would kind of, you know, little ones, but he helped, you know, they kind of.
Yeah, but you do it first. You do have to help it first. For him to develop a hobby that he can do independently, you have to put in a lot of time up front helping him do it.
Yeah.
So that he can become independent, because it doesn't just come naturally.
You know what? I want the drawing because I think that's such a
good one. Do you have Soma's book about reading? Do you have that? It's just a little, like it's a little spiral.
I think I bought it.
Because reading is a really awesome hobby to build, and she's got some good suggestions in there. So drawing is good, reading is good.
Do they have an Amazon?
Searches. I don't know if it's on Amazon, but it is on the Halo website.
I'm gonna check it out.
You know, another thing I'll mention to you too is that, you know, all of the businesses are suffering right now, and Halo is the same. They're suffering. All of their people are canceling, and, you know, so they're trying to, that's why Soma's been offering these online workshops. She's just trying to keep her business afloat so that they can reopen and continue helping families. And as a result, her schedule is opened up you could even get consults with her now.
Yes.
So that's something to think about too.
Yeah, I asked her and she gave me some dates. But
Okay.
first I'm gonna do this math. She's having this math.
Yeah, I'm doing that one too. I sign up for everything because I want them to make it. I want them to stay.
Yes.
open.
Yeah. And also I promote to my friends. I have a Spanish group.
Oh yeah.
A friend of mine that does with, actually she did a couple of classes in Buenos Aires with Loris.
Yeah. Okay.
And then she said, oh, they canceled Buenos Aires because they were planning to do one in April, but they canceled it.
Okay.
And I told her, why don't you, just do classes, because that's going to help you to see how things work.
Yeah.
And
So we have a workshop scheduled with Lene. She's supposed to come here, and I've rounded up all these families to be involved in her workshop. And of course she can't come, it's not gonna, or people won't come. So it's not going to happen, except that I talked with her about making it into a virtual workshop. So we're thinking about doing it as a virtual workshop. So if you're interested, let me know. So it's in May. It'll be on Zoom, and it will be a combination of one-on-one lessons on Zoom and group lessons and games on Zoom and some lectures designed for parents.
I want it.
Okay. It's May 19th through 21st is the plan, and we might add another day. We'll see.
Okay, send me on, definitely. I will, know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna do just now only RPM. These people from for the Family Hope Center, they just send me. Yeah, I think you have to come, but of course, nobody's going.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy, the price, Joshua. It's like,
oh, I know.
We are doing 20% off, so it's gonna be like $3,000. It's crazy. And I know how it's gonna be. It's gonna be keep doing that, keep doing the
forever and ever. Yeah. And I do think there's value in all of that stuff, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but for example,
will any of us be alive long enough to
no, but you know what I don't like, Joshua? For example, the reading part, they do this single papers.
Oh.
So they let him just show him to read. And why? He can already go in here,
Yeah, exactly.
So he basically put him in a lower kind of.
Right. And that's just one of the problems that's kind of across the board. People don't presume the competence that they need to presume, and because it's the body that's not cooperating.
Yes.
Cognitively, he's got it. Yeah.
No, and I'm amazed. Every time I do a lesson, Paul is like, "Oh, she's talking about interesting stuff."
Nice. Yeah, exactly. No more little kid stuff. Yeah. It's awesome.
I'm gonna ask Paul what are we gonna do next lessons.
Okay, very good.
And, should we keep Tuesday next week?
Yeah, let's do. Tuesday's good.
Holly, you wanna say goodbye? But Kegan left. We're gonna, we see you in there. You wanna say bye to Kegan? Bye, Joshua.
Bye, Joshua.
I will see you later. I'm taking the computer in here where Kegan is because he'll want to tell you goodbye.
Okay.
Hang on, we left.
You guys had lunch already? No.
No, not yet.
Me too.
Kegan Paul says goodbye.
Bye. See you next week, Kegan.
Okay.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye. Thank you, Joshua.
Bye.
Oops. What did I do?